So this week's Daily Race in Gran Turismo 7 exposes quite a big problem in the game that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time now, and I'm going to do it today. This is not scripted, this is just absolutely raw, me as a Gran Turismo 7 fan. So I'm going to explain what's going on here, because Gran Turismo 7 have had to make a change today, and to me it was obvious they were going to make this change as soon as I saw this race announced this morning. So it's 6:25 right now in the evening, and for a lot of people we're going to be finishing work and hopping on Gran Turismo and thinking about doing a race. But you can see here, for the first time possibly ever in Daily Race history, the next race is actually not at 6:30, but it's at 7 o'clock. And the reason for this is not because this is a 6-lap race around the Nordschleife at Nürburgring Endurance, so GP and Nordschleife, which means it's going to take about 45, 50, 55 minutes, whatever, depending on the weather and driver sort of ability. It's not because of that. It's actually a combination of a few factors. And if you're a PSVR fan, I'm going to be talking about a huge PSVR issue as well. But the main thing is not that. And I want to say as well, again, just shooting this raw, this is in my opinion, this is a great daily race. Now, I find it quite funny because I know last week there were a lot of YouTubers, big YouTubers, saying Gran Turismo 7 is dead. This is a sad moment for Gran Turismo. They really didn't like the daily race last week, which I thought was great, which was the 1960s Honda F1 car at the new Eigenauburn track. So Gran Turismo 7's dead. Let's all go to ACC or wherever. And I bet we're going to have a lot of videos now, early this week, saying Gran Turismo 7's back. GT7 smashed it with the daily races. But then I think we're going to have some different videos later on in the week. So I think it's a good daily race. Having the opportunity to do 6 laps in dynamic weather at Gran Turismo's longest track is unarguably a great opportunity for Sony players. I'm going to really enjoy doing this race, but it does not work in the context of Gran Turismo 7 Sport Mode. So this is why, and this is one of the reasons why I need to change it. So one of the reasons is that it's a 55-minute race, 50-minute race, which is a big commitment for us as console players. We've seen recently ACC with its SimGrid seasons trying to compete with Gran Turismo, trying some really good stuff. But right now it seems like the player numbers are just not there compared to Gran Turismo 7. That's me sort of looking in. Because console players, we're not sitting down at a PC with a massive investment of equipment that we've got. We're playing on a controller or on like a Logitech equipment or something, and we want to have some quick fun. What that means is that if you enter this race in all good honesty and earnestness, and you want to finish this race at 7 o'clock, when there was still one every half an hour, if you spin off in the first lap or two, given it's really tricky with the new physics and the new weather and the dynamic weather, you're just going to quit out and go again at 7:30. So that's why they had to make this change, because the amount of people finishing these races was rarely above 10 drivers. And if you look at the broadcast split, so the big streamers, people like Key25, etc., streaming top split is full of the YouTube content creators, the esports aliens, the people practicing, the people that are most likely who have another incentive to really finish the race. If you go into the more sort of like regular normal person splits, there's less of those extra incentives to finish the race. Like if it's not fun, just not going to play. And so in those races, I think it was getting absolutely decimated with really not a lot of people finishing the race in a split. Now what this exposes is that Gran Turismo 7 needs bigger grids, and I actually made a video about this in 2021, I believe, where I said Gran Turismo 7 absolutely needs bigger grids. And I was so distraught when we moved down to 16-car grids, which is a downgrade from the predecessor. That's a bit like FIFA 23 having 11 aside, but FIFA 24 you can only do 7 aside or something. It's really mad, and it exposes it here, because with that attrition rate, if we had a 30-car grid or a 24-car grid, you'd still be racing maybe more than 10 cars at the end of the race. But when you start with a 16-car grid, it's going down to 10, 9, 8, 7 finishing the race. So that's a big issue. It's not necessarily that people are going in not wanting to finish. It's that they were not finishing because of the half an hour thing. But even now, even on an hourly basis, it's the other side of the coin. I can't actually race now for half an hour. So I'm a console player. Daily Race A is an absolute meme in the Samba bus. Daily Race B is going to be very controversial because it's a relatively controversial track where there's often a lot of wall riding. And so Daily Race C, I've now got to wait half an hour. Maybe as a console player I don't want to. Maybe I'm just going to go on to Call of Duty. Or maybe I will go on to ACC. Who knows? So they've tried to fix it, but in that they've created another problem there, which is, you know, I think this is the way you solve it. So, and I'm going to get onto that PSVR2 thing. I think this should be an additional daily race. It's time for Daily Race D or Daily Race E for endurance. Like, this is Nürburgring endurance. Do it on the hour, every hour, but have it as a separate race and have a regular Daily Race C there that is a 25-minute race. So then I could now have gone into a Daily Race C somewhere to get warmed up with tyre wear, tyre temperatures. They don't show you, but we know, we've analysed how they work, fuel, all that kind of stuff, pit stop, and then I can go into that. We've seen Forza Motorsport has really gone heavy into endurance, which is really interesting to see, and I think it's time Gran Turismo 7 do the same. Now, I do want to mention PSVR 2. I raced last week in PSVR 2, and I asked you guys and girls to please like and subscribe if you want to see more, which you did, and we're now 95,000 subscribers. If you're watching this, even if you don't know who I am, please hit that subscribe button, because you will take us to 100k. 100k subscribers is now the goal. But anyway, I'd really appreciate that personally. You guys and girls actually make this channel. I can't use PSVR 2 in Daily Race C. Do you know why? I think PSVR 2 players are going to know why. It's because I just don't have the information that I need to get this over I don't have the splits. I don't have the driver order. So when I'm coming into pit stops, it's impossible. If I'm going to be 10 seconds behind the next car ahead of me, but I know the weather's changing, I just don't know. I cannot see the time gaps in this, which is really, really, really bad. So yeah, it's a frustrating one, that one. It's definitely a real frustrating one. And again, it's exposed kind of the issues with PSVR 2, that it just hasn't been updated with the rest of the game to make this fair. But I think to fix this, and I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. To fix this, you make this a fourth daily race and you keep it on the hour. So you have it on the hour as a fourth daily race. Great. And you have your regular A, B, and C. A can be a meme race. B is like a sprint race. And C is like a slightly strategy race. And D is full-on endurance. And I think that then gives you a pathway, and this is a really interesting point, I think. It gives you a pathway to do team endurances. We know Gran Turismo 7 can do team endurances. Why? Because they do it at the GT World Series. They have driver swaps. I've been there. I've seen the UI they go into. There's driver swaps. So if you start building out that endurance section, you start giving yourself the opportunity to actually do driver swaps. So that's my thought anyway on this very unusual daily race combination this week. I predict we're going to see a lot of videos saying it's the best daily race ever in history, but then I think we're going to have some of these complaints make their way to the other YouTubers. But this is what I think. Let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. It's just a raw, honest take. Please subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.